Welcome to the Awakened Aphrodite podcast with me, your host, Pamela Horner, Master Hypnotherapist, Master Practitioner of Neurolinguistic Programming, Mental and Emotional Release, and Tantric Priestess. Listening to this podcast means that you're ready for deep, passionate, soul connected, magic laced love and business. And you are ready to have them both and so much more all at the same time. If you're here, it's because you've done the work, you've shown up, and now you're ready to cash it all in and finally receive everything you've ever dreamt of. Every time you listen to this podcast, you will open up more and more and more to love, abundance, turn on, and magic. And you'll feel absolutely compelled to say yes to everything that's meant for your highest alignment and good. If you're ready to work with me and dive deeper, please follow me on Instagram at The Awakened Aphrodite or go to www.theawakenedaphrodite.com to stay in the know of all the palace happenings. Thank you so much for listening. Please like, comment, share, subscribe, and give the show 5 stars. And I know that you will fall in love with today's episode. Let's begin. I'm so excited to be here with you today and talk about one of my favorite topics ever, which is feminine magnetism. And today we are going to be diving into understanding the 3 secrets of feminine magnetism. And now I want you to know that there's more than 3 secrets to feminine magnetism. And these are 3 secrets that I feel like not a lot of people talk about or speak to. And so if you want to learn more and if you're ready to really dive in and unravel the conditioning that you have around your own feminine radiance, feminine magnetism, so that you can finally attract the love that you deeply, deeply, deeply desire, the love that feels so close. You might even already be in a relationship, or you might be really close to finding that person. And you know that there are so many layers deeper that you can go, that you want to go, that you crave to go, that you're craving to experience. And then join me this Monday, September the 6th, for Unravel. And this is going to be unlike any other program that I've offered. It's going to be laser focused on heart opening, on attraction, on this deep unraveling to help you tap into your powerful feminine energy. This is also the foundation of everything that I teach. This is a foundation of feminine dominance. This is a foundation of really wielding your magic. And I really hope to see you there because I don't know the next time I'll be offering anything like this again. So send me a DM on Instagram, unravel me, or go to my website, theawakenedaphrodite.com, and you can click the banner there. It will bring you to the sales page, and doors are closing soon. The drawbridge will be closing soon, and I can't wait to look upon your beautiful face, my queen, and welcome you into the palace, or welcome you back into the palace, or upgrade you in the palace. It's one of my favorite things to do. And so without further ado, let's dive into today's topic, understanding the 3 secrets of feminine magnetism. Also, if you're watching this, I want you to comment below, what do you think that they are? I always love hearing from you. What have you found that they are? And so number one is your no. Your no, your no, your no. Okay. And another way of looking at this could be your boundaries, although Boundaries are, in my world, not so much of a no thing, it's more of a desire based thing. And yet, let's stick with this idea of it's your no, right? And I want you to think about a palace, right? What kind of palace would it be without adequate protection? And I want you to know that with any palace, just because there is adequate protection doesn't mean that it's not open, right? Like any good queendom, any good palace is open. It wants and desires more people to be there. And then it becomes this thing of whoever is the best gets to be upgraded and gets to stay, right? This is the idea here. And not every person is allowed in. If you don't follow the rules, if you don't respect this space, if you don't honor what's being asked of you, then how could the palace stay the palace? How could the queen stay safe in the palace, for example? Well, that wouldn't be possible. And how amazing would the palace even be if everyone was allowed in, if everyone was allowed to take, if everyone was allowed to sit at the round table, right? So, the thing that I want you to know and feel and understand is that your no is so fucking sexy. Your partner, and this is especially true of the masculine, loves hearing your embodied no. And so this isn't just saying no to say no or saying no to a thing that you want to say yes to just to sort of create this falsely, but instead, this is about really being vulnerable and honest and sovereign and high value and owning the things that are actually your no's and seeking to find and talk about these things, right? Instead of hiding what they might be, actively going, hey, I've been thinking about this thing. Are you interested in talking about it? I've been having feelings about this thing. I'm really curious to hear how you might feel as well. Actually, actively seeking out these no's and being able to talk about them is very, very, very sexy. And it's, of course, how you talk about them, how you bring them up, and everything like this that really matters the most. Okay, so number two, the second secret of feminine magnetism is believing that you create. Believing that you create, believing that you create, believing that you create. I cannot tell you how sad it is to see so many women, especially, really acting as if they are in the hamster wheel of dating, acting as if they are in the hamster wheel of business. Like, oh my gosh, wow, I only got this thing, or I guess this is the thing that I have to deal with. This mentality that you're not powerful, this mentality that you have no control, this mentality that things are not your responsibility, this mentality that you are not the ultimate creator, creatrix, which you are. There's also something inherently sexy about someone who really understands that they create. And the thing that I want to say about this, okay, this is especially true with a lot of the high powered business owners that I work with. Okay. I actually find that super successful women struggle with this the most, believe it or not, because they actually take more responsibility than the average person, generally speaking, right? In order to be a successful coach, a successful entrepreneur, it really means that you have to take epic levels of responsibility. So I always find that when I work with really successful women, they always have this belief that they're already taking this responsibility. Okay. And I gotta say that there's usually a massive blind spot somewhere in their life, and it's usually showing up in their love life where they believe and everybody else looking at them truly believes that they take epic responsibility, right? On paper, of course they do. And it's not that they aren't, okay? It's not that they aren't, it's that there's usually some sort of trauma there or some sort of block or some sort of blind spot that they just can't see. And this is where getting the support, working with me, is the thing that's going to help you uncover, unravel that blind spot or those blind spots in those blocks. Because let's face it, you're highly intelligent. If you're listening to this, I know you. I know you are highly intelligent. And the only reason that you don't have the thing that you want is not because you don't know how to take responsibility. If you didn't know how to take responsibility, I don't believe you'd even be listening. I don't believe that you'd be here. I don't believe that you'd even deeply enjoy listening to my work and my teachings and following them. You're highly intelligent. Let's face it. And it's not that you're not willing to believe this. It's not that you're not willing to take responsibility. It's that you have blocks there. You might have blocks there, or you might have blind spots that you just can't see. And that's okay. Even the best hairdressers in the world generally get someone else to cut their hair, the back of their head, right? Like there's only so much that they can see, only so much that they can see. And that's okay, right? If you were going to do your own eyebrows, I think something like getting your eyebrows microbladed or something, right? Something that involves a little bit of pain, perhaps. I'm going to assume that even if you were the best in the world, you would still desire to have another person do it so that you can be, so that you can make sure that it comes out well, so that they can see the angles that you can't see, right? So it's not that you're not ready to take responsibility. It's that there's probably something there because I believe that you are ready to take full responsibility. And believing that you create is so, so hot. It's so sexy. And it turns on the masculine like nothing else. Number 3 is cultivating your flavor of femininity. Okay. This is one of the biggest ones. And this is one of the things that I teach all of my queens. And I don't always teach it right away because there's definitely something to be said about even tapping into femininity at all, right? Even desiring to be feminine at all, even feeling what it is to tap into your heart, your radiance, your turn on, your pleasure, to be in the art of receiving at all. And I know that you want this. I know that you crave this. I know that every woman does. And yet you have your own flavor of femininity. And unfortunately, one of the things that I personally cannot stand at all in the industry of feminine energy, let's call it, is this cookie cutter sort of thing, right? This thing of, oh, this is what femininity looks like exactly specifically. And then what you start seeing is this kind of melting pot of feminine energy where everyone just does it the same way. And that's a major, major, major turnoff. That's especially a major turnoff if you're interested in dating uh, partners in the spiritual sort of community or partners that are really tapped into that spiritual energy. because they're like, oh, look, another person who's exactly like all of the other people I've met that are spiritually open and connected. So that is not a thing that you want. The other thing that I find is that what gets forgotten in this cultivation of feminine energy is the fierce, is the ravishable or the ravishing, is that sort of darker texture and layer of feminine energy, which is so sexy. That feminine energy, the dark goddess, is so hot. It is so sexy. It is one of these things that, if not done well, can certainly not be good for relationships, can certainly not be good for dating. But when you understand how to tap into this energy so well, so perfectly, you become the ultimate seductress. And not only seductress, the individual that keeps your relationships hot. Because it's one thing to seduce someone, and it's another thing to keep the seduction flowing for years and years and years to come, and to be highly sought out by your partner and pursued, if that's what you desire to experience, by your partner over and over and over again throughout the eternity of your relationship. So, these are the three keys to feminine magnetism, the three secrets to feminine magnetism. One, your no is hot. It's so hot. Own your no. Have a drawbridge, get a drawbridge, use it. Get some guards, use them, and also let the people in that are supposed to be there. Number two, believing that you create. This is so sexy. It's so deeply feminine. It's such a major relief. It's such a major turn on. And number three, cultivating your flavor of femininity is the most important part. And of course, you know that this is what I teach. This is why I am here. I am here to help you cultivate your flavor of femininity. And you get to have the love life, you get to have the business of your wildest dreams. If you are serious and if you are ready, and you know that you've tried the things, you've done the work, and there's something that needs to click or switch, and you're really ready to say yes, then you know it's time to work with me. Go to theawakenedaphrodite.com, follow me on Instagram at theawakenedaphrodite. And if Unravel is still open by the time you're listening to this, definitely get in there and send me a DM, unravel me. I will get you all set up. I'll get your room all set up in the palace. I'm so excited to gaze upon you, to be with you, to worship you like the queen that you are, and to be in your magic too. Because I know that you'll love my magic. I know that it's going to change your life forever. And I can't wait to see you there. So please give this episode 5 stars. Please like, please share, please subscribe and comment. I love hearing from you. And until next time, you know that I love you. I love you. I love you. Thank you so much for watching.